If you look at where life expectancy has gotten the worst in the United States, Appalachia is sort of at the top of the list. My grandfather died at 67 from a very preventable illness, but 67 from a very preventable, very treatable illness. I think all of my aunts or all of my uncles, and not a single one of them that I could think of made it to 69. If you grow up in Appalachia, you are used to losing the people that you love very, very early on.
A lot has to do with nutrition and lifestyle. Vice President Vance calling out a losing healthcare system for failing the people he grew up with while cheering on RFK Jr.'s movement at yesterday's MAHA summit in D.C. Our next guest helps more than 3 million followers get healthier and led a panel at yesterday's summit focusing on the athletes. Renowned human biologist and MAHA Action Committee co-chair Gary Brecka joins us now. Gary, what was your takeaway from the event yesterday? Not just what we saw, but what you did.
Well, I was sitting front row for the entire event before I was on the panel myself. And I'll tell you, one thing that was very, very clear to me was that there is no light between Bobby Kennedy and Donald Trump or the White House and Health and Human Services as far as this MAHA movement goes. There's a lot of narrative out there that there's discontinuity between these guys, and you can tell that they are full throttle behind Bobby Kennedy's agenda. And then you also look at the number of departments in the government, Health and Human Services, National Institute of Health, the CDC, the FDA, all aligned on this mission. I mean, that was crystal clear from yesterday's summit.
But Gary, aren't you getting pushback from the food industry and other dug-in lobbies? It hasn't been somewhat of a struggle?
Oh, it's absolutely been a struggle. I mean, when 74% of our nutritional research is funded by big food and big pharma, you end up with a food pyramid that says that Lucky Charms is more nutritious than grass-fed steak. And so we're about to turn that food pyramid upside down. We're going to end the war on saturated fat. And these are the kinds of things that are coming out of the MAHA agenda that are actually going to impact the lives of Americans.
What role do you have in this? I know you have the respect of the industry and a lot of major names from David Beckham to Stephen A. Smith. But how do you see your role for the everyman that's never going to get to Hollywood, never do a movie, maybe not have a cold plunge in their backyard?
Yeah, well, we actually know that it's not the cold plunges in the backyard that really extend life. I mean, if you want to extend life, you focus on sleep, you make movement non-negotiable, and you eat a whole food diet. And every single American can make those changes without adding a dime to their budget. What we're addressing, in MAHA are some of these areas like Appalachia that are food deserts, where the only access they have to food are things that are highly processed and preserved ingredients. And so these are the areas that J.D. Vance was referring to yesterday that are really underserved. My role is a co-chair of MAHA Action, and I'm helping to just amplify that message across my media platform and across all of the influencers in our industry's platforms.
Right, and you do talk about, hey, you don't have a cold plunge, you can take a cold shower. You don't have a sauna, you can take a hot bath.
You can take a Tupperware container and freeze blocks of ice in your freezer and dump them into your tub, and it'll last 3 days. You'll have a cold plunge for free.
Right, and these are some of the things. Do you find people are open to your methods now? Are they open to understanding that they maybe been taught the wrong things?
Yes, but I think that still, you look at the statistics, they're not really good. More than 51% of Americans don't know what a highly processed food is. We still think that dogmatic dieting extends life, and we know from the big data, from Blue Zone studies, that it's not a particular diet that extends life. It's not all carnivore, all Atkins, all keto, all paleo, all pescatarian. It is the absence of processed foods. And so one of MAHA's biggest agendas is to address the volume of processed foods, especially in our children's diets. And you see this reflecting in skyrocketing rates of attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity disorders, learning disabilities, and what we would call mood disorders, which are really caused by the ingredients in our food, not the least of which is folic acid.
Gary, how much is it that it's just more expensive to eat healthier? And what can you do about that?
Well, I think there's two things. Number one, it's not more expensive to eat healthier, but very often it's the only thing that people have access to. This is where this term food deserts comes from. This is what J.D. Vance was referring to when he talked about Appalachia and the higher rates of cancer, morbid obesity, type 2 diabetes, multiple chronic disease, actually lower life expectancies. This is because these areas of America that are rural are only served by the highly processed food industry. One of the things that Bobby is doing at HHS is trying to get all the way back to the soil. We know that the health of America begins in the soil. We're not what we eat, we're what we eat eats. And so if we have animals that are eating non-nutritious plants from that soil, we have our vegetables growing in soil that has had its nutrients depleted, that eventually makes its way to the table. And then you look at the processed food industry. You know, very often it's not actually the food itself, it's the distance from the food to the table. We talk about seed oils, and people think that we're attacking plants. But when you take a plant and you put it in a commercial press, you degum that plant with hexane, which is a known neurotoxin. You heat it to 405 degrees and turn it rancid, and then it's putrefied, and then you deodorize it with sodium hydroxide, and then you bottle it and put it on the shelf. You have a highly processed oil that maybe didn't start its journey as being detrimental, but it certainly ended that way. And this is why I love the agenda having the Food and Drug Administration, the National Institute of Health, Health and Human Services, you see the Department of Agriculture, all on board so we can start at the soil and end at the table.
I hear you. It was a big summit yesterday. We carried some of it yesterday on the channel, and you lived it. You moderated one of the panels and are there every step of the way. Gary, thanks so much. Always great to talk to you. Always learn a ton.
You're super welcome, Brian. Lovely to be here.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.